Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. My name is Jay.
And I'm Ray.
My name's Kenny, Delmarva Deals.
Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to another fantastic episode. If you've listened to us before and this is your first time in, hit that like, subscribe, and send us a message. And we would really appreciate it. It would help us out a whole lot. So how was your guys' week this week in reselling?
You want to go first, Kenny?
Oh, sure, no problem. Sales were mediocre. I kind of just threw my arbitrarily threw my store on a 50% sale. I really just want to move stuff out. I want, honestly, I just want to start from a clean slate. I'm actually taking like half my store and just selling it at a game convention we got going on this weekend. I know we'll probably get into it later about all the other little things that me and James bought this week, but just slow sales. It's just no money. You know what I mean? It's just I'm trying to speed things up and just start over. I think I'm restructure my store or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That makes sense. Yep.
How about you?
For me, I've been sick for most of the week, so I haven't really done as much necessarily. But actually, my sales have been pretty good, so I can't really complain. They're where they were like a couple months ago. Before the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
January and February, it was just so slow. So it's back to where it was like in December and November, and also back to normal. But I honestly, I don't know. We'll see how it is next week because I have not been listing very much. And if I am listing, I mean, it's like I'm listing the cheap cards or something just to get something up and just to have something on there because I haven't had the energy to do some real listings. I feel like this week. I mean, heck, I didn't even send you a 10 a day at all this week.
Dude, I haven't did it either. I haven't. Last week I was sick, just getting over being sick, and then my hand from being swelled up, I can't bend my fingers at all. So I'm a one-handed man, and hopefully by next week it'll feel a lot better. But dude, I haven't sent you a single picture. I haven't done a single listing. It's been 2 weeks, and last week was the worst week I've ever had on eBay.
Really?
Absolutely. I have never had another week such as on eBay. It was the
Wow.
worst. Yep.
Do you think it's because you weren't listing?
Yeah, I think that's partial. It has to be at least a little bit because I wasn't listing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I still have good things on my store in my store. I mean, like yesterday I did or was this? Yeah, last night I sold a couple things, made quick couple $100, but the rest of the week or the week before was nothing. I sold something, but it was literally the worst week I have ever had on eBay ever.
Wow.
In the history of eBay.
How many 0 days did you have?
I'm sure it was like 3.
Yeah, that's bad. It's bad then. I think everybody, a lot of people won't say it, but everybody's gonna have a big old 0 every once in a while. Like it's just that's how it works for some reason.
Never used to be like that for me though.
It shouldn't
I've
be.
never had zeros days like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming last week or whatever. Last year, I should have never slowed myself down. That was my problem with my store. I should have never slowed it down, and I never really picked myself back up to get back in the motion of it. And
now with slow sales though, like what do you guys do, like to change that to try to? Oh, Kenny's out right now.
I'm here.
We've definitely been having some technical difficulties. Okay, there you are. Well, I don't know, it said reconnecting on my screen. I don't know about you, Jay, if it said that.
it was just still on my screen.
Yeah. But yeah, so like what do you guys do if it's like slow sales? Like I know Kenny, you kind of mentioned a little bit like what's your process of what you're doing now, but like what do you guys usually do? Like
one of my tried and true methods is end the listing and then put it back up again, right? Like with a whole new, basically get a whole new number and it looks like a whole brand new listing.
Yeah, the end and sell similar.
Honestly, at this point, I just want to move stuff out, right? Like that's my whole purpose right now.
Mhm.
It's getting sold somewhere else. I mean, it's not even getting sold on eBay. eBay again. I'm just gonna have to restart with new stuff, and because a lot of my stuff's been I've had for a while, and it hasn't moved. It's time for it to go. I'm tired of looking at it. It just I want it gone. Really, I legitimately just want it all gone. And plus, I'm working towards something else anyway for another business, so I need the money to to get that
Yeah.
moving.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Well, my
working
thing is,
towards
I
working
will,
towards a box truck.
I'll list and sell similar, and I'll put my store on a sale, or when I send out offers, I'll send out bigger offers than I usually do, just to kind of just get things just kind of flowing. And sometimes it helps, and sometimes it doesn't. And then just try to do some listings. But like last couple weeks, I didn't do any listings at all, so I didn't see any help from that from not listing at all. But I mean, what types of stuff do you do?
I mean, I pretty much do similar things to what you guys said, but I feel like every option you're never going to know the results. It's such a shot in the dark that like, I mean, I just did promoted listings. I haven't done promoted listings in years. It hasn't made any improvement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I've done that. I tried sales before. I mean, I could put a bunch of stuff on sale and it's not really gonna matter. And then it's worse when I put stuff on sale because a lot of my items I'll have best offer. So not only is it on sale, then they want even more off.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They'll start sending me offers. They get that notification that it dropped down in price. Like, oh, I'm going to offer even more. And so then it becomes a low ball to me because I'm like I already discounted it, and so it's very difficult. I think but I think what works best for me, especially because I have so many items, if I can sit there, since I have so many listings, if I can sit there and actually end and sell similar a bunch of them in a day and list, I don't know why, like that, just that combo really, I feel like gives my store a boost.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will do similar stuff even on like Macari. If I end and then recross post like an item from eBay back over to Macari. If I end the item on Macari and cross post back over, basically relisting it, I'm telling you, Macari will pick up, and it'll be weird because it's not just the new items. It'll bump up the old items.
Hmm.
So I mean, those things actually work.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. I get, I've done it. I see a lot of this. People are running from eBay. They're just in groves. They're going. They're gone. They're getting ready to store. They're kind of, selling other places, maybe online platforms. I mean, that auction platforms.
Yeah,
Um, do you think that eBay is still a viable option for full time reselling, or should we find somewhere else, or how should we just keep a percentage of our inventory on eBay and just find other ways to make money?
I think just being versatile. I mean, I don't think you can't just put all your eggs in one basket anymore. It's not that simple.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, I've been trying, or every year I try to pick up a new platform and to see if I can get some a little bit extra sales. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And right now this year I'm trying Etsy and it's not going so well. But and I've tried Dib and I'm on Dibbed it too, but I have not went live yet. But yeah, I mean that's a. I think
I
a lot
mean,
of people are running because it's not what it used to be. What about
I
you,
mean,
Kenny?
unless you're gonna do 50 to 100,000 listings, I mean, if you're just gonna list, 300 or 400 things, 500 things, that's part time, right? Like, I mean, unless you're gonna go, full bore and just do a tech and sports or a daily refinement style business out of it, it's hard to make full time money out of 4 or 5, even 1,000 piece store, really, unless you. It depends on the stuff you got, really. But if you just
Hmm.
got regular run of the mill stuff, you can't make a full time living off of that. There's just no way.
I
The
feel the
volume.
same way.
Yeah, because
Right.
eBay's not going to push. eBay, it's not a fair push, right? Because if it was, I'd sell a lot more because there's been lots of times I was the lowest person online and I still didn't sell the item, right? Like it just the
Hmm.
person didn't see it, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's why I cross post so much, because you want to get it in front of as many eyes as possible. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, if you go from a lot of people even just resell locally, and they're only doing like the flea markets or like a little show, and they might have this specialty item that their actual buyer is never going to see that item.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a buyer out there for everything.
Well, because
Yeah.
them certain items you don't need eBay for. Like if your item's going to sell, it's going to sell regardless. So I mean, say if I have a $300 video game, I could get that in person. I could get that at the flea market. So why would I spend taxes and fees and have to worry about returns on eBay when I could literally just sell that higher dollar item outside of eBay, right? Like I don't even need to list it.
Well,
So
there
I
could
mean,
be
yeah, go ahead.
there
I'm
could
sorry.
be some niche item that I mean, it has some value to it, but it's just that certain person. But you on eBay, you'd reach a broader market. So I'm kind of almost looking at eBay now as like, if you're going to have a smaller store, make it just nothing but the best stuff you can put on there. Stuff that
I mean,
Yeah.
only.
true. It depends on the stuff, right? Like when you come to video games, I mean, everybody here knows we could sell any high dollar video game anywhere, right? Like you could put it on marketplace, and it's going to sell for retail, right? Like, you know what I mean? You got Sudoku 2 on PS1. It's going to sell, right? Like you don't need eBay to sell that game, right? But you do need eBay to sell like the $20 to $50 games. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you
Well,
know people
see,
will overlook those games a lot of times, but they'll pick up the higher dollar game,
well,
especially if
I'm
it's a
gonna
good
go.
price. You know.
I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier. Like like you said earlier about going to the flea market, you can get any like regular game there, like a specific game. You can go to flea market sometimes, get that type of stuff. But the thing is, you know, how many people out there, do not even go to the flea market? How many, there's a lot of people that refuse to shop flea markets or thrift stores. There's people, like, put it this way, there's so many people out there that don't even, they don't buy on eBay, they buy on Amazon, you know? So it's every market has their own buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Just like even like Macari, they're not going to be buying, like that buyer might only specifically be loyal to each whatever platform or area where those items are available for sale, where they feel like most comfortable and they've had good experiences.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if
there's
I
like
had to
something I
take a
sold
guess,
today or last night. It was on a, a Neo Geo AC adapter. I have to make sure I find that right buyer in my area who needs a Neo Geo
Mm-hmm.
AC adapter. That's going to be very difficult for me.
Yeah,
or you sell it to another reseller. That's what
yeah,
I'm
but
trying
then
to
you're
say.
then you're
Like,
probably going to
I
take
mean, you got to
a
think
price cut.
them higher dollar games. You're selling them more higher dollar games are sold in person than they are on eBay every day, right? Like it just is. I mean, I look at a higher dollar video game. Just pick a random one. They might have 1 to 3 sales a day. You know what I mean? Or even up to 10 sales a day of that game. In person, there's probably thousands being sold, or at least hundreds every
I mean,
day being generated without even eBay even knowing about it.
I do agree with you about, like, because you could sell it, um
Because
no
eBay,
matter
you're
what,
just gonna
but
sit. You got to worry about that. You know what I mean? It's
but like, where us are us as sellers going to get the most premium, like the best, like the most we can get for an item? You know what I mean? Because you could sell anything at a flea market, but you're going to take a price cut.
On certain things, you're right, but there's certain things you don't, right? Like if you have if it's a high enough dollar game, you can command retail for it. It's the Scooby Doo Mystery Mayhems that are like $25 games. Everybody wants for $5, right? Like it's if you have a super high dollar game, you can pretty much command market value for it. Almost. I mean, you
Yeah,
might have to take a little bit of a cut, but eBay's going to take it anyway. So what's the difference, right? And you don't even have to worry about a return.
yeah.
So I mean, them
But
higher dollar items you can get rid of at the drop of a hat. It's the medium, lower tier items that we can't sell as fast. You know what I mean?
hmm I think one of the biggest things that's a factor in the selling online versus obviously at the flea market is the shipping prices, because the lower the item price is, if it's closer to the shipping price or anything, sometimes more, the shipping can be more than the actual price item. And who in the right mind would want to pay that? But like, what are you supposed to do? It's, you already have, if you have calculated shipping or whatever, you have the lowest shipping price you can actually offer. And there's sometimes I'll have those items listed, and it does surprise me that they do sell, but it's not very often, and I think it's difficult. And I do get complaints, like people will message me, but those type of items are probably better off me just not selling online and just taking them right back to the flea market, or never picking them up in the first place. But what is something that you guys think that sells around this nearly the same value, um, or more at the flea market than it would online?
Lower
Hmm.
dollar items.
Just the lower
Like
dollars.
Amazon Smalls. Like I will say Amazon Smalls because after it's said and done, I mean they're gonna sit on eBay sometimes because you have so much competition from the 100,000 item store on eBay that your lower dollar, say Amazon Smalls or your $5 to $10 items are never going to be seen, right? They're going to sit there forever, but you can basically get your money out of it, in person, right? Like, I mean, you can
Mm-hmm.
get, again, you might take a little bit of a cut, but you're going to take a little bit of a cut on fees anyway. So, you're going to make your money faster and easier at the flea market with lower dollar items,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
I mean, you guys do pretty good with that, at the flea
Hmm.
market. All your Amazon Smalls, and man, when I stopped
Yeah,
over
we
there
rock and roll, man.
last weekend, you guys were busy as anything. Kenny was over there killing it.
Hmm.
Jay was there just for a little bit. I know, no, but even it was so busy that Jay wasn't even trying to be involved, and people kept coming up to him and asking him prices. He's like, "I'm not the guy today."
I wasn't. Yeah, it was a really good day. Saturday was a really good flea market day. I mean, the the flea market did way better than eBay. Like,
Tax
Yeah,
season. That's why everybody got their taxes back.
and
They
see,
started to.
it's the higher dollar item that's not video game related or like gold. They're harder to sell at the flea market. Like we have a $90 jump starter for your vehicle, right? It's heavy
Mm-hmm.
duty. It goes for like 90 on eBay. You're never going to get that at the flea market for that, right? But a $90 video game, you're going to get the $90 for it, right? So that's the give and take of eBay versus online. I mean eBay versus face to face.
Yeah, I mean
You
it
just gotta
is.
you gotta know your audience basically.
Mm-hmm. I think that's one of my biggest difficulties, because the audience varies even from platform to platform, and I genuinely don't really know all the time what's going to sell better on each platform. And I mean, I have an idea more with Poshmark, but I generally just I list pretty much almost almost anything that's on my eBay onto Macari, but just because I mean you can pretty much almost sell almost the same stuff, except for if it was a specialty item like if I had a car part or something like that, nobody's going on Macari to look for a specific car part. You know what I mean? They gotta have if it's like a part to something that there isn't a better place. You tell me I'm wrong, but there isn't a better place to sell a part than eBay.
eBay.
Yeah,
eBay's number one.
eBay is.
Mm-hmm.
Better believe it. Yeah, there's
Yep.
no other. No, we're not going
Especially
to go
with,
to Macquarie looking for a part.
yeah,
Nope.
especially for a vehicle. You got eBay Motors, which is huge, you know.
You know that would be a great selling platform. You just had like a platform that was just for parts. You know
Yeah.
What do you do?
that
It's
any
called Rock Auto.
huh? Yeah.
Rock Auto.
No, but I mean not even just car parts, but like what if you had like a board game and you had pieces that you were missing, or
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean, like video game systems, like you had
Yeah.
specific like pieces to the game
Yeah.
systems, like there that would be great because there's no competitor out there. eBay has no competitor in that type of category. They rule that. I mean,
That's not
Amazon a
a
little
bad
bit.
idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and I just told everybody, and everybody, somebody's gonna act.
That is a cool idea, but then you have to. There has to be marketing and everything behind it to make it
Yeah,
work. Imagine, imagine
I
you
mean,
have to have the
See, the customer
people to
base you
kind
have to
of
have. Yeah.
yeah.
How many
yeah.
people
I
actually
mean,
fix their
and the
stuff
thing is too,
anymore?
there's a lot. hmm There's a lot of parts. Like if it's like a piece or a part to like a board game or something like that, they're not generally like a lot of money. So I mean, I do sell some of that stuff. I had some kind of I think it might have been a board game card or something like that. Just a single card to a set like for a board game or card game or something like that. I sold it the other day. It wasn't much money, but nobody else is offering that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to list these pieces individually, and
Yeah.
somebody bought it for like $4, and that's not doesn't I know that's not a lot of money, but it's just front back picture. Doesn't take me hardly anything to ship it. It'd be no different than me selling when I sell my baseball cards and stuff. So
Right. I mean, and it's hard to like. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'll have stuff that I've gotten deals in, or it's just something that's sitting there that it may not be worth a whole lot of money, but it will sell eventually, and I still list it anyway for a little bit amount of money because it doesn't hurt me at all. I have enough space to put it. It's just that I don't know. Do you think it just clogs up your store, or it's like you have to look at it that way? Will it clog up my store?
yeah, it
It,
probably does.
but I still
Most of
put
my
it out
stuff
there.
probably does.
Yeah, but we still put it out there, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much stuff I
It
shouldn't
depends
be
on how
selling.
many it is. I mean, if you only have one set of weapons, it's like, it's one little listing. But if you got one big bag and you have like 100 listings, that's not too bad though, because you're gonna hit something. It's the pain in the ass when you got a whole bag of stuff and then you get to the bottom and it's like, one or two little guns from like a GI Joe, and then like, what do you do with these? Right? Do I list
hmm
them? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe they're
Well,
$3, and that's the
well,
only thing you're doing, right? Like
yeah. I mean, most people
that's
aren't even going to know that
that's what
that's
I'm
the
saying.
specific.
That's what I hate when it's like a $3 item, and it's like, and it's so small, and it's like, do I even really want to deal with it? I don't know if I want to even list it.
yeah,
Sometimes
I
I
but
just don't.
yeah.
sometimes it works out. I mean, I had a gun that I had for it was a Transformers gun. It was only like $9.99 that I did with like a little pile of guns that I had, and it didn't. It took nearly 3 years to sell, but it was $9.99, and it took up this much space, dude. What am I gonna do? I can't let it go.
Yeah.
It's
There are certain pieces like the I've sold pieces off that uh old Kenner Ghostbusters firehouse,
yeah,
like the railing or or just different pieces like that. And I mean, I've gotten like $10 or whatever. Even the bracket pieces. There's bracket pieces that hold up the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and I've sold them like for like $10 or something. And I'm like, nobody else is out there offering this. So, and I know
Yeah.
I found multiple of those things broken. Like I mean, so people are looking for the parts and pieces, because if there's multiple of them, every time I see them almost they're broken, then you need to like there's a service out there to provide for that.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
there
that's
and
nice when you have the multiples, or it's worth more than like $3, right? That's I'm
yeah.
saying
Yeah,
when you got
yeah,
like one item that's worth $3, you know,
yeah. I
it's
don't
one
I don't
single
list
thing.
anything like that. That
Yeah,
three, I do four, but I probably need to go up.
Well, you know, the cool
yeah.
thing, like you were talking about that with the Kenner a firehouse for the Ghostbusters. I had a Ninja Turtles like wagon, and it was the newer. It's probably like the 2004 or so, 2006, and the wagon sells for like $18 plus shipping on eBay.
Wow.
I took all the parts off the wagon and sold it for $15 plus shipping. I didn't have to worry about shipping this big old
Hmm.
van out, and I just shipped the parts out, and the parts weighed like 8 ounces, and I got $15 for it, almost as much as I would if I sold the van.
I did that with an espresso maker. I mean espresso machine, and so I took like there's even like the little metal cup, and I don't even know. Like this was years ago. Somebody had it for I think it might have been free, or it was like $5 or something like that. And I'm like, this thing, like there's pieces on there that sell for like $30 to $50. I'm gonna
Yep.
go get this and just part it out. I'm like, I don't feel like testing it, make sure it works or anything like that. Like I'll just part out the little pieces and then just throw the rest in the trash because I don't care.
It doesn't matter, right? That's the same way with those mixers. A lot of those
Yeah,
mixers do the same thing. You sell
the
pieces off the mix.
ninjas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ninjas. I'm trying to think of that one brand, like Hamilton Beach or whatever it is. There's
Are you
this
sure
real
Hamilton Beach? Hamilton
might
Beach used to be cheap.
might not be Hamilton Beach. There's this one, not KitchenAid. Well, they do
Yeah,
KitchenAid.
KitchenAid's a good
There's
one. No.
KitchenAid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, like
Cuisinart.
some of the Cuisinarts, it might have been Cuisinart. There was this one model. There's one model, dude. I just rather take it all apart, and I got as
Hmm.
just as much as if I sold it as a whole piece.
Yeah.
It's easier to ship.
Yeah.
Have you
No,
guys
that's
ever like
good.
pulled up somewhere and seen like somebody set out some nice furniture, and like you debated whether you should take it or not, and like have you taken it?
I don't usually have the space for it, so I mean,
What if it
no.
was
I
like
mean,
what if it was like late 1800s, early 1900s, like, you know, furniture? Like, I mean,
my
you get maybe $300 or $400 out of it if you have the space or something.
my wife would kill me because we don't literally do not have the space because I don't have anywhere to put it. I have to bring it in my house and got to make
My
sure it's
I bring that up because
fine to
like
do so.
15 minutes before we got onto the podcast, me and James were driving around this house that always sets stuff out, and they had like these late 1800s, early 1900s. They call them settees, Settee. It was like a roll around bench love seat, and then it had like the matching two chairs that were rolled around, and like the mini old caster wheels that sat right next to it, and it was like a you would put it in your 4A, and it was like really nice. I mean, they were really nice. They need to be cleaned, but they were really nice love seats. And I can't get them out of my head. I wish I would have picked them up, but again, it's the space. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
we just went and picked up the
a
load was
load.
maybe three-quarters of the van,
Hmm.
you know, and
Not counting, we have something to do tomorrow, which
yeah,
I hopefully, if people in the local area near the Marley Station Mall
Well,
area,
they're not going to see this. It's
Southern
going to be a
Maryland,
week late.
yeah.
if you're psychic and you see this,
Now we
yeah,
did
you're
on
right. I forgot all about that. Yeah, I should have
we
said
did
Should have
buy
done
last
a
week.
live this week.
yeah yeah should have done a live. We did buy a bunch
But
of games though.
Me and James has a video game. show tomorrow, Saturday,
Hmm.
convention.
Over
So
a
what?
thousand games. Over a
We
thousand games.
yeah, we
Six
bought a
hundred dollars.
gigantic video
Wow.
game lot. I don't know if I should disclose on how much we spent, but it was like 10 bins filled with, video games from Fairchild and Atari all the way up to PS5, technically. And it has 1,000 plus games, 10 bins, like I said, 10 bins full of stuff. It just
Mm.
uh, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. We just got lucky. We got it at
Yeah,
a really cheap price. And
that's good.
then the game I seen on online, the game show was this Saturday. I applied and got it and got a
That's
spot
awesome.
and hopefully we turn that profit and I can buy a box truck for our business and get us
That'd be
rolling
cool.
even harder.
Cool. I mean, how'd you guys come across that show? Like, have they been doing a lot of them, or just?
Well, there's
I
a
think you found it on
listing.
Facebook.
Mhm.
I found it on Facebook. It's local play, um, and it's being held at the mall. I think it's like the second year they've done it, and it's hosted by a video game store, um,
Okay.
and there's like a whole listing of different game shows that they're going to be holding this year at different locations. So
Okay.
I'm hoping, since it's going to be nice weather, we get a lot of people, with money in their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, because I mean, if you guys did so well last week at the flea market selling regular stuff, I mean, hopefully
Yeah.
that stuff will do
I mean,
really
I
good.
don't know if we should say numbers. Should we say numbers, James, on how much we made last weekend?
No, I mean I wouldn't say how much we made last weekend, but
But
We
I
did
know
really
you.
well
What
last weekend.
I didn't even hear it, but I'm just gonna say I know you guys did really well because you guys were
We did
nonstop. Like
very, very, very well, yes.
I know it's busy when I can barely even talk to you guys. You guys are just like every second somebody's coming up to you. How much is
Yeah.
this? How much is this? Because you guys don't price anything, and so it's like, oh, this. Like every second, you're already working a deal, Kenny, and then there's somebody all the way on the other side is asking how
And then they're
much.
coming to Jay. Jay wasn't even really like working that day, and
Yep.
they coming up to him and bugging him for.
Yeah. He Kenny put you to work, Jay.
yeah, I know. I had a birthday party to go to for my niece, and I woke up a little later anyway. Kind of. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's, you can never predict, even being that busy anyway. Like you couldn't,
Yeah,
can't. It sometimes it just happens. So
I don't know. Tomorrow the flea market's probably gonna be really good too because it's probably gonna be a nice day tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It probably
I
is.
know I feel bad for missing, but
Oh, that's
we're
right. We're not going. We're going. That's right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you got
We just
the
talked about that.
yep, yep, yeah. I because I knew when you called the other night, Jay, asking if I wanted to join in on that or whatever, but I just don't have enough unlisted video games. Like, and most of the video games I had from the toy show, I mean, there's a good percentage that's sold, so I don't feel like I have anything really, really good.
Mhm.
Or even, you know what I mean? It'd just be more work for me because I have to pull it off eBay or such,
Yeah.
and you know, that's
Yeah.
what made the toy show so good is because mostly everything I took originally, like that I set out originally, was unlisted inventory, and then everything else, like I added eBay inventory in, but I had to do it where I knew that, like where it was separated or something like that. Like I had to do it that way, so I didn't mess myself up. I had way too much stuff. I mean, I next thing you know, I sell something like 2 weeks later or months down the road, and I can't find it because it's in another tote that I haven't even
Yeah.
gotten back to.
Mhm.
well, I got six more. I got six personal totes just filled with merchandise that I'm just throwing in with it
Yeah,
tomorrow. I'm just again offloading, man. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, I mean, if you do that, like, and you can unlist it there and like keep it organized and have it in your mind. But
I
I
already
mean,
unlisted it.
yeah, that's the difference. I
Yeah.
kept everything active, when I went with Jay to the toy show, and I would just
I sell too
unlist it
much
if it
too
sold.
fast to be able to do that. I
Yeah,
can't do that because it just sells so fast that I can't keep track of it. So I
well,
just take it off
yeah,
before I even go there. You know.
I think it'd be more work for me to do that, and I think when I've done it in the past, something happens where if my unsolds get overloaded, then I lose them. Like they'll just like eBay deletes them or something. They get lost or something like that, and then it's sitting in a tote for like a year, and it was never listed anymore. Like it's not even available for purchase. So then I'm really screwed over with that. So that's why I don't like leaving things listed, but at least I know like if I just I had like a notebook with me, or I just unlist it right away if I could, like just have to have my phone right there and be able to do that. But
Yeah, I took some. I took one bin of games that I had listed to the toy show this last year, and I as I sold them, I took them off eBay.
mm-hmm.
So it was just
Yeah,
one bin. I just made sure it was
yeah.
one bin and left it all there.
See me, I had way more stuff than I ever even needed to bring. I mean, it was way over.
You did
I
bring
mean,
a lot.
I don't know. I guess I just had this in my mind. Like I said before, it's especially working in retail a lot. Like you have your back stock room. It can't sell if it's not out. So when something sells, I was going to refill it,
Mm-hmm.
and because I thought it was going to be really really good. It wasn't as good for me, and I know there's a lot of reasons behind that. Um, but I'd rather have been prepared, and I just created a lot more work for myself by doing that.
But it's all right. You were prepared.
Yeah, yeah. I was like toy show doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna sell out. There was no
Hey,
way I would have sold out.
you would have made more sales if you probably would have talked to them a little bit.
Yeah.
Threw another threw $10 less on something or something.
Well, I know. Like I said, I know that was part of my issue. Like you guys, we talked about it last week, and so that's something I definitely need to work on a little bit. But I mean, hey, I wouldn't have never even been out there, probably. So uh, because I haven't done anything like that ever. I haven't. I mean, I used to sell at the flea market,
Yeah.
but it's been a long time since I used to set up every week, and I think the only reason I even had a little bit of success at the flea market is because not too many people were doing what I was doing, like getting the autographs and selling them at the time.
Yeah.
So I was able to get a guy that was like just drafted, by the Baltimore Ravens like a week prior, and then I already had his autograph and I had it at the flea market available for sale or something. I was able to get that.
Yeah, there's not many people to do that.
No, no. So
Mm.
it's a little bit different, and I think that's why I built up a good customer base for a while with that. But now, it's a little bit different.
It is. Flea market
Yeah,
in general is a little different.
yeah, yep, yep. So
Have you got any good deals lately?
I didn't, I didn't buy anything
Have been buying
this
anything?
week.
How
No,
how are how are you knocking down that death pile?
not good. Well, not this week.
You know, well, not
I
this
was
week.
so sick. I mean, I did cards, cards. Let me see. I listed. Oh, I got some Warhammer figures that I've been procrastinating forever.
Okay.
Dude, I knocked over this little tote that they were in, and I can't. And I know there were a couple pieces in there that were broken, but now it seems like there's a lot more pieces in there broken, and I think because I knocked it over, so now I'm like picking. I made even more work for myself again because I'm literally picking. I have to pick through and inspect each little one if it's broken or not.
I
But they
do
are
too.
yeah, they every time I list them, they
Yeah.
sell out. I've sold out. But and I even had somebody on Macari ask, like, "Hey, do you have any more?" And this was like 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't listed. I told him, "Yeah, I'll have them listed this week," and I never got them.
Good.
Yeah,
So
That's
I've
the way
done
it works.
global Warham figures. I bundled them together. I've made hundreds of dollars. off of them.
I just
And
can't
I don't
figure
even
out
know
what
what they
each.
are, right? Like I don't even know.
Yeah,
Like I know very little about Warhammer figures.
I can't figure out what like army or whatever what each one goes to, and it's so I use Google image search a
You
little
got
bit, but
Marines, you got Wolves, you got Terror Squad, you got. I know some of the things just because I've educated myself on it. I still don't know that much about it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm wondering if I take
You
all
got
the if
Angels.
I yeah, I'm
Mm,
wondering if I take out all the good pieces, the ones that aren't broken, and then if I take all the actual broken pieces, like you got an arm here, a leg, a head,
and sell them as a bundle. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just say broken parts
Are they
I would.
metal or
for
are they
repair.
plastic? Do you have the metal
Um,
ones or the plastic ones?
there those ones I think are all plastic. There's a couple metal ones in there, but
Okay, set them aside because they sell differently. The
okay,
metals are more expensive, you know.
okay. I even have
Yeah.
like some kind of big like ship looking thing or something like that.
Oh
I got
yeah.
more Warhammer stuff upstairs that's unpunched, and I got to go
Mm-hmm.
through that.
You got it from the guy at the flea market.
Yep. Yeah, the guy that's no longer there.
Is no longer there.
I don't know what was happening with that.
You probably got. Did he give you a good deal on that stuff?
Yeah, dude. So I got them off of him. Then I got like in the same day I got them. I got a bunch of sports cards, like all the Pacific uh, football cards.
Yeah.
All came in boxes from him. So the lot of football cards I've been selling for anywhere from like $10 to $20, just for like no name guys, I got from him. And then there was a couple other things I got. I think the same day. I mean, I spent a lot more money. I was not expecting to even go over there and
Maybe two.
realize that he had all that stuff. But uh, and there's a couple other things. Like there's one thing I bought that I put to the side for a while, and then I ended up getting autographed, and I have it up for sale. But the Sons of Anarchy vest, it's hard to find them like the actual official ones. There's a lot of knockoffs like from China of the Sons of Anarchy vest, but he actually had an official one. So I put that aside because I knew that was a little bit before my wedding at the time, and I knew the same week I think I was going to be on my honeymoon. There was a couple guys from Sons of Anarchy going to be at a convention around here, and obviously I couldn't go at that point. But then I still held on to the vest, and I got like a couple people like throughout the past couple years now on it. Um, but it's so I mean that kind of turned into a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully I'll sell it. But
Yeah. That's he had some good deals there. I wish I probably should have bought more. I was in there and I got all the video games that I wanted from him, and then he had a stack of comic books. His I should have bought them, but I kind of like turned my back, and one of the comic book guys see me in there, and he was like, "Oh well, what do they got for sale?" And
yeah,
he kind of
I
went,
know that's one of the things. Like I was going there every once in a while and building like a little pile, and then you get somebody coming in and they're like starting to try to pick through my pile. Like I had a Stone Cold Steve Austin like vintage T-shirt that I found in there, and there's somebody like just seen that like oh like trying to ask him how much. I'm like, oh, that I'm getting that like.
yeah, like,
But there was I think there was a lot of hidden gems like in his clothing, and I think some people were starting to pick up on the clothing. He was getting a lot of good vintage clothing, and I think after some people started picking up, I stopped going over there for that, and then I don't know. Then he's just randomly just started not opening anymore and stopped showing up. I guess he wasn't paying his rent there, like a lot of sellers
yep,
end up doing. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
yep,
can't afford it. It's too expensive.
it is
There's a lot
too
of
much.
people not. They're shutting down their stalls because they can't afford to rent. They're not making
Yeah.
money.
Well,
They're
I
just
mean,
terrible salesmen too.
yeah, but we've talked about it before. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like when you got that much rent and you're paying almost as much as a regular storefront, per
Oh yeah.
month. There's no way. Like I wonder. did you guys seen a new thrift store that's getting ready to open, right?
Which one?
The one over what was it? I'm trying to think. It's like near the Pat's Pizza.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
So they open on their first day. Their grand opening is Saturday, but I'm wondering how it's going to be because that thrift store is the one that was over by the poor boy thrift store,
Yeah.
and when Mystery Box was over there for a little while too. But um, so I don't know. They kind of just run it. That one, the other one, they were running down. It basically was like a garage type, like storage unit almost type of building, and
Yeah.
they were just lifting the garage door up. And people come in, and I feel. I mean, this is my personal opinion that the few times I went there, I feel like everything was like picked over, like it was the stuff that you see on like towards the last day at an estate sale or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering like how they're going to do that with the thrift store, if it's going to be like that or if it's they're going to be constantly getting stuff in and they're not listening online or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like a
Well,
lot of it's picked over.
so very difficult for a thrift store to survive if you're not replacing new merchandise every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, you're never going to survive
Yeah.
because it's
Oh
You
yeah.
a
think
stationary store.
Goodwill gets subsidized by the government, so they're able to do it.
Good luck.
Uh, regular regular thrift stores have to, like you said, flip. You got to flip through that
Do
shit. You can't have the same stuff out there because nobody's ever gonna come back.
So what I think, and I don't know if they are. So like I said, I don't know the whole situation, but I have a feeling that they are like resellers just like us,
That's what I have a
you
feeling of.
know, and they just pick through some of the good stuff put online. Which I mean, I know Goodwill does that now, and there's a lot of places they'll pick through some of the good stuff and put it online. I mean, that's just how it is. But um, I think as a reseller, it's impossible to actually run a true thrift store.
You're absolutely 100%. Because
Yep.
here's what's going to happen. I ran thrift stores. Listen, I tell you, I know. You have to have the amount of merchandise coming through your back door to bring through the front door to keep people coming back. If you take all the great stuff and start selling it online, you're not going to have anybody to come in your store to buy from you.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen
it's true.
because you keep coming and seeing the same stuff every single day. Are you going to keep coming back?
Well,
Not going to happen.
it's like one of those things. Even guys at the flea market that sell up sometimes, or well, when what's his name, Keith was in the back. So this guy Keith, when he was back here, um, I told him before, like the way he was doing it, because he'd have a lot of good stuff, but then he'd get rid of some. He'd have a lot of junk too. When you're doing a storage unit, when you do a storage unit, I think that's one of the better ways to sell is to sell it just at the flea market because you're going to get rid of the good stuff and the junk at the same time, or at least a majority of the junk, and you're going to make a little bit of money back just on the junk that like literally could sell nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't, the junk you can't sell that online. We all three of us know that because we just kind of talked about it. It's the low dollar items, and the only place to sell them are the flea market.
Yeah.
So, but and it sucks because he did have to let go some of the premium items at a lower price. You know what I mean? Just to get rid of it, and I think that's one of the most difficult things when you get stuff like that. I mean, and thrift stores are no different. That you can't just pick through it and think that you're going to make a ton of money just on the good stuff because there's always going to be crap left over.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to have people to want to come in your doors to see the other things, not just the crap.
Yeah,
It's just the way it works.
yeah.
That's why Goodwill stores are they're getting these stores only as like donation centers. That's basically what it is. And then they want to throw all the crap out of the floor and let everybody else do it. They come and donate, come in the door, buy a couple things, leave out. but then they're making the most money when they're taking it off the floor and selling it on, like, Goodwill Live and stuff like that. That's where they're making all their money from.
And they sell on
Yeah.
eBay too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean it's different. So like we said, Goodwill, which is a lot of people don't understand, is they're each section. The Goodwill has their own section. So this is Goodwill. One we're in is Goodwill the Chesapeake, and they allow them to have a certain amount of stores, a certain amount of areas they're allowed to stay in. They send 10% over to Goodwill, the headquarters. That's
Okay.
so it gives them that little non-profit thing. You know what I mean? And then they're able to take all the money from the governments. The government gives them grants, subsidies, whatever they want. Here's $1 million you're offering. Their thing is, we offer jobs to people. You
Yeah.
don't. Every company offers job to people. You got to have people
Yeah.
that work for you. You ain't
Exactly.
doing nothing training people. It's a
Yeah.
lie. They're
Yeah.
making, dude. They make more money than
Yeah.
then that's how they do it. And they got CEOs. It's not one big CEO. Yeah, there's a big CEO of Goodwill itself, but then each individual has a CEO for that region.
And you falling asleep?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm tired, bro. We've been going for days after day after day after day.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we still gotta even pack up the van even more.
Jeez.
Cause
Yeah.
but no, yeah, about
Yeah.
Goodwill though, uh, they basically are stealing from us. If you think about it, like they take our donations and they do it under false pretenses, and all they're doing is turning a profit. They're not helping nobody. They're stealing
Hmm.
from us. That's how I see Goodwill as a thief. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even though I did pick up some good stuff at Goodwill today,
I mean, I think
because we did
everybody
stop
picks
at
up
Goodwill
something good
today.
every once in a while. But
Yes. Well, every once in a well, that was the thing. Every once in a while.
yeah. Yeah. It's not
I
what it
picked up
once
the
was.
Deadpool Steelbook Blu-ray. I picked up a Teletubby stuffy, um, an eye dragon talking dog, my friend pet plush,
Okay.
um, another DVD, a speaker for a yacht speaker
Huh.
in the box, and something else. Oh, Eddie Bauer uh, teddy bear bag with the leash, so you can leash your kid up, but it's made by Eddie Bauer.
I was
Are you going to use that on Jay at the show tomorrow to make sure he don't wander off and buy more stuff?
yeah.
I bought it for myself, so I wouldn't wander off.
Okay.
Dude, I was looking at there was a thermal label printer there. I was like, $10 in the box. I was like, wonder if I should get that. I didn't need another one. I'm like, well, I don't need another label printer. I'm like, now I'm sitting there thinking about it. Do you have a thermal label printer?
No, and I was going to say I'm still having printer issues. So
You should have pointed out to me. I'd have bought it.
I did. I said, hey, man, check this little printer out over here. Can you might not have paid no attention to me.
I didn't know it was a thermal printer. I thought you
okay.
meant like an actual printer, like you know what I mean? Like a
Oh.
See
printer
my
that we have. You know, we kept a printer, the Epson printer.
so my printer, it's weird. So I ran out of labels the other day, right? And it's been smearing on labels though, and it's been kind of smearing and smudging a little bit, but most of the time it's okay. And I'll just put like a piece of tape over the address and the barcode, so it doesn't smudge anymore. And I've had no issues with that. But um, I ran out of labels the other day, so I had to use paper until I got new labels in, and it prints vinyl paper.
Really?
And I've had no issues with these labels before. I've been buying them for the past couple of years. So it doesn't. I don't understand. I don't know if it's maybe the toner that I have. Like maybe I got a bad toner. I have no idea. But I might have to just print on paper for until this thing runs out.
Probably
Go
so.
the long way.
But you can always get yourself a clear cup like this. This is my wife's cup, and she bought her and her sister bought clear cups, right? Just to take pictures of and send each other the color of their water. So this is a grape strawberry water.
Grape strawberry. Sounds
It
pretty
looked
good.
like shit water on camera.
I thought it was like soda in there.
This
You
is
can't tell
delicious.
that it's great. It looks
Yeah.
like poop water on
I
camera.
know you'd have to go closer. You get the grape, but I wonder what a grape would taste like by itself. But this is grape strawberry.
I don't think I've ever had anything that was grape and strawberry.
I'm drinking my wife's stuff, but it's really good.
Is it good?
Take a picture and send that to me. No, just
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. Have you ever
Yeah.
heard of anything like that?
I mean, I don't ever do that. I don't know. Nobody cares about what I drink about. I mean, what I drink or anything or
Yeah, no. Just take a picture. Show me the
yeah.
color of your water today. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start sending you pictures of my morning drink, my coffee or something.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say I'm going to start sending you pictures of my morning stool.
Oh my gosh!
I've
Now
had enough.
that's some poop water there.
That's poop water right there. Like, look at what I did this morning. Smiley face and clapping hands. That's crazy.
You all right? You all right, Kenny?
I won't wear my vest. No. Just going with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, double
Trying
fisted
not to be
cup.
too vulgar, you know.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to let
You're fighting the urge.
yeah, because I'm trying to like not let the vulgarness take over.
Good, yeah.
But there was
Yeah,
plenty of
good.
other pictures that he could have sent you in the morning.
Yeah. I know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do know that. I do.
Like it reminds me of Jay doing that talking to like a security system people earlier, and they were
What?
gonna send him like a medical bracelet for his medical issue. You remember what I'm talking about, James?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
I'll mess with people who called and different things. And I was talking to my brother one time. I was messing with one guy. He told me I won $55 million or $85 million, and
Jeez.
I had him rolling for like 2.5 hours. I spent 2.5 hours of my time thinking that I was gonna scratch off some green dot scratch cards or something. Down, cash back or whatever. That's good, dude. It was funny. I got pulled over by the police going to Walmart. Guy was like, "Don't tell nobody you're talking to me." And then I was like, I mean, it was a whole ordeal, bro. It was like, oh yeah, it was funny.
I'm trying to figure out how to do something similar to that, but not. I don't want to give them my email, but on Etsy with all these freaking scammers that every single item on my list, I get one or two messages, and like, and the other day, or actually, no, it was yesterday. They kind of played it where it wasn't. They didn't directly ask for my email right away. It was the first time they didn't ask for it right away, saying that they're trying to purchase it, and they're like, they just said like, hello, I love this item or something like that, or I love this or something. That's what it was, and I'm like, okay, cool, like, it's very nice, and they're like I want to buy it. Give me your email. That's what they said next. I'm like, well, that went south real quick.
Give me your email.
Jeez. And so, and then I was like, I try to think of something smart. I'm like, I don't have the time or energy. Me being sick and all, I'm like, I don't have.
That's the way it is.
Yep.
I don't even
I
feel
don't
like
have it in me.
Oh man.
But, man.
Any news this week?
No, I don't think there. Dude, I didn't have time to do anything. The way I was feeling, and I didn't do no ship or skip this week.
I know, dude. Being sick is not like it's not the greatest.
No.
I know we're I say we stay on here for another 5 minutes and then call it a day.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys got stuff to do, and You gotta get ready for tomorrow. You guys hopefully will have a big day.
Yeah.
What time does that get started down there tomorrow?
It I think Kenny said
6:30.
we got to be around about 6:30.
Okay. Well, what time did like the doors open to the public though?
I think 9.
Nine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, because um, you got to go out like the side entrance. They let you get a chance to set up, and then they open the doors.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because if I'm feeling better and I get time, I might try to head down there to
Yeah, roll down
say
there, man.
hello.
That'd be
Yep.
cool. Yeah,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Marley Station Mall.
Yeah. I know where it is.
Yeah,
7900 Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie, Maryland
They
21061.
they do quite a bit of. There's like a card show there every once in a while too that I've been wanting to get into. I tried to get into it. I think sometime last year. Probably it was, but I think it was between the vintage pop up that I did and then in the toy show. I was trying to get into a card show and they were already full.
yeah.
So I do want to try that eventually. I think I would have much more success
They
with
do have a
that.
nice card show down there.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, there's a couple card shows in that area, and just in general, like on that side. There used to be this. Well, I know it's still going on, but the Slade card show. I think that's like once a month. That's probably one of the better ones. I want to go back just to check it out and kind of look around one
Yeah,
day. But I haven't been to a card show in like probably about maybe 3 or 4 years
yeah.
at least.
Card shows are nice. I like card. I wish I collect. Well, no, I don't wish I collected. I'm sorry. I like. I would like to collect, but
Yeah.
that's too much, man. That's just too much.
Well, what I was getting into when I went. Well, they don't have just cards either. Sometimes they'll have bobbleheads. They'll have like just somebody set up with memorabilia or something like that. But they one of my favorite things is because you can't. There's not that many people locally that sell this type of stuff. But some of those dealers will have boxes of cards that are just like celebrity type cards, and they'll be like autographs or
Hmm.
like there's actors or musicians and
Yeah,
comedians and that kind of stuff. Their autographs or pieces of like used
relic.
memorabilia in the card,
Yeah,
and you can't. There's nowhere locally that you can buy that, or there's as much of that there.
I remember
So
years ago
yeah,
when I was a kid, I used to see people with the books of the pictures, and it was like a photo album, but they would have the pictures of the famous people, and they'd have them all signed, and it'd be like 125 of them. And back then, them autographs were nothing. You know what I mean?
hmm
They weren't worth anything. Now they're probably
yeah.
worth a fortune. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
I
it
mean,
was like,
sometimes
yeah, it was like known people like Burt Reynolds and Meryl Streep and all
hmm
these other people, like all the old actors and actresses and stuff. It's probably
yeah.
worth a ton of money now.
I love finding like a binder like that has just some autographs in it or anything,
Yeah.
and there. I mean, there's a couple times. There's one time I passed on it, and I was set up at the flea market. It's still one of my biggest regrets. I've talked about before. The guy had a stack of cards and he had the binder. I went for the cards and I should have ended up buying both. I would think I was tight on money. I needed the money. Like I was setting up at the flea market because I needed money that week, and I didn't even try to buy both. I should have bought both.
Yep.
But
Mm,
um, I did pick up this is probably about like 6 or 7 years ago at least. But somebody had a binder and it was like a bunch of like really old country music artists. Most of the people in there were unknown, like big, and they were not very big stars. But I think because like it was just like country music artists that were some of them were local or I think do like little mini tours, but they uh they were still valuable because there wasn't that many of them out there. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't,
mm,
it was a more of a niche market. But there was one in there was Ernest Tubbs. That was the biggest name in there, and it had his whole entire group with him, and they were all signed. And that one I think went for pretty good money. I want to say that went for probably like a couple $100.
Wow. That's
Gee,
good.
I'm selling all kinds of stuff today when we're on here. Just cheap cards, but
Yeah, but good for you. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I've
three
got
guys. I'm the
zero.
only one that has cha-chings.
But you know what? I have a lot of remembering the old Marvel cards, stuff like that. I like stuff like that. Non-sports cards also.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite.
Yeah,
I
I
think
really.
they're so unique and there's so much that more that goes into it because the art and everything. Like I mean, half the like the baseball cards, sports cards. I don't even know who the heck the guy is. Like, why would I care about that? And that's what makes the non-sports stuff sometimes better than the sports stuff because I mean, all it even takes is say them to do a Marvel movie or a series with one of those characters, and then that stuff starts to go up in value.
Mm-hmm.
That baseball player that you never heard of, could care less about, that's never going to go up in value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
I
Well,
just pulled.
I mean that just for nostalgic purposes. I like the 90-91 Marvel white border set, the one that had the Stan Lee card as the last card. You had all his face with the Spider Man and all the
The
different.
Excelsior card.
Yeah, that was just nostalgia. It's nostalgic for me. I ain't worried about the money. And like sports cards, like I even like stuff in the 80s, early 90s stuff that don't have to have a lot of value. It's just really cool to me because that's the type
Mm-hmm,
of stuff that I
Or the gray
collected back
border
in the day.
DC cards.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't like the gray border DC cards.
I like
Kenny
the gray
does.
border DC cards.
Kenny likes the gray border DC cards. I like the white border Marvel cards.
No, I like the Marvel cards. Don't get me wrong. I love the Marvel cards. But the
Yeah,
gray
I like the
DC
Flair
cards,
Marvel
they have
cards.
the
They were some of the cool ones.
Yeah, the flare.
some of
They're nice.
them. Some of them, you get some of them, inserts. They're expensive too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, even some of the
Especially.
base and the Flair. I just sold a
Yeah.
Venom for like $6. It's a base. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing
Yeah, and that's just
special.
the base. Yeah, it just.
Yep. But because I was saying like before how like all it takes for them to make a series or a movie about one of these characters, and then that stuff goes up value. Uh,
Mhm.
I I had somebody like a comic book that I have on Macari, and then I kind of just looked into it. Now, none they're not selling for a big money yet or anything on eBay or anywhere, but I pulled it off because I'm like, I have a Wonder Man because they're getting ready to do the Wonder Man series
Mhm.
#1.
Oh,
So
do you?
it
Okay.
now, yeah. So I pulled that off. I mean, it's not his first appearance ever, but it's a first comic book.
Oh, his
Wonder Man comic.
yeah, the first Wonder Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
So
was probably in like a Hawk comic somewhere. You know what I mean?
yeah, he was. Yeah, when I looked it up, like it was, I think back in the '60s is when his first appearance was, but they didn't make. I think his I don't even know what year it was, but it was much later
Yeah.
when they actually gave him
Yeah.
his own comic. I mean, I'm saying years later, like it.
I know.
So I was like, I'm gonna pull that off.
I got lucky with the oh shit, they made the TV show of Moon Knight, and I got the number
Mm-hmm.
one Moon Knight for like $10 out of a stack of comics right as that show got launched, and I sold it, and it was and it doubled in price just because of the TV show,
I
at the
love
time.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight was one of my favorite series.
Yeah, well,
It,
he was one of my favorite comic characters
mm-hmm.
too. I like Moon Knight.
Yeah, I
He
love
was
it.
like
This all,
he was like a mentally ill Batman, essentially.
yeah, yeah. Just that the different personalities and
Hmm.
stuff, and I don't know. I don't get like Disney Plus's marketing right now. They keep I keep seeing advertisements for Moon Knight, and it says something about like revisiting the classics. I'm like, since when is Moon Knight a classic? It
I
hasn't even been that
know,
long.
right?
Like they gotta make another one. I mean, they gotta make another season. Like everybody's
Hmm.
waiting. Everybody even on that Facebook post is commenting like, "Well, we're waiting for another season."
Yeah. Revisiting a classic.
This
But
is less about Disney Plus and just about, I guess, the economy. There's a site called High Anime, exclamation point anime.to, right? You can basically go and watch all the anime you want for free, right? Every anime you can imagine, you type it in, watch it. Technically, it's illegal, but somebody looked into it. Somebody looked into it. There's 464 million monthly users for that site alone. There's
Wow.
only 350 million monthly users for Disney Plus. There's more people to use that illegal site because it gives you a better experience. You can watch in 4K. You can sync your lists up. You can change everything all around. It gives you all these options, and you can hook your social media up to it. And I don't understand some of these high grade A sites. They just haven't matched up to like some of the more illegal sites out there. I don't know how this illegal offshoot site has better technology than like Disney. I don't get it. It's weird.
I don't know. Maybe they got their money tied up somewhere else with the deals, and
I guess,
you know.
yeah, But this, I mean, it plays 4K. I mean, it's beautiful. It gives you
Wow.
a way better experience than Disney Plus does.
Hmm.
I've never finished Moon Knight. Now that you're talking about it,
I
I feel like
watched
I
about
want to sit down
half
and
of it.
watch it.
Yeah,
I
you
watched
should.
half of it. I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't care for the series that much.
I
I
liked
thought it
it.
was what I
My
watched.
favorite.
I liked it. What I watched, I liked.
I like the
Yeah, I
I
think
haven't.
it's
characters.
my favorite series.
Well, the new uh not Spider Man. Wow.
But the new Captain America that came out.
No, it's
No.
on Netflix. It's Venom.
Yeah,
The new
yeah,
Venom's on Netflix.
yeah. It was just okay.
Is it?
I don't like how they ended it.
Well, don't tell me because I haven't watched
No,
it.
no, I won't tell you. I'm just gonna say I don't like. I mean, I loved all the Venom movies. Like, the first two. I mean, and Venom became like one of my favorite Marvel characters. I mean, I have Venom shoes. I have Venom like couple Venom shirts and stuff. Like, I love Venom, but I don't like how they ended that, or it was just kind of dragged out. Like that last
Really?
movie. Yeah, it was. And we seen it in theaters, and my wife almost fell asleep. She said,
Wow, that's terrible. Do I even want to watch this now?
"No, no, I think it's still worth a watch because you never know." Yeah, to
I
me,
don't think
I
Tom
watch
Hardy
everything
can
Marvel
do
to
it.
see what happens next. Huh?
I think Tom Hardy was done with it. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I heard. I think he's he did two of them. He didn't even really want to do number three, but I think contractually he had to.
Well, he was tied to that role too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a little bit. So he was getting tied to that role, and I feel like he hasn't really been in too many other things. There's a couple other things he's been in, but what was that one movie, The Bike Riders? I think it came out
Oh yeah.
last year or something.
Yeah. I want to see that.
I want to
That
see it
it's
too.
I like it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's on one of the streaming platforms. Like, it might be Prime. My dad really really wanted to see it, and he's seen it and he hated it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because it's like, it reminds me of one of the old like classic, almost mafia
Easy Riders.
stylish.
What's the
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
of it? It's called Easy Riders.
No,
No,
no, it's
no,
called
it's the
Bike Riders.
yeah Bike Riders.
Bike Riders.
Yeah,
It has
Okay. Bike.
Daryl in it.
Really?
yeah,
Norman
yeah,
Reedus.
Norman Reedus,
yeah.
a fame of the Boondock
And
Saints.
Austin Butler is the
Yeah,
main
Austin
character.
Butler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never
I
seen
gotta watch
Elvis
it.
with Austin Butler in it.
Me either, and that's where I think he got his big fame from. Everybody says, but I'm like, I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
I
There's
haven't
just too
watched
much
many
crap out there.
movies. I haven't watched many movies in the last couple of years. I just been too busy.
Yeah, yeah,
Neither have
yeah.
I.
It's a lot of time. Well, I guess that says how it goes because uh, you guys must be focusing more on your reselling than watching
I
movies like
see.
I do.
You know what's funny is I seen a short reel or whatever, and it was like me at 9 p.m. in the early 2000s, and the guy's like, yeah, looking in the mirror at 9 p.m. Me right now at 9 p.m. sitting on the couch watching TV in my PJs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep.
Ready to take a nap, you know?
Yeah, it is. That's how it goes. Like I try to stay up and lately what I keep doing just to even try to be more productive at night, I I'll list or I'll have items um that need to be listed. They're stored in my phone, all the photos and all. I'll list during commercial breaks now, during regular TV nights.
Really?
But most platforms aren't going to even have commercials.
No.
So
Yeah. Well, you're married now. You got to sit back and you got to listen to what your wife. Because if I don't listen to my wife, she'll beat me, smack me around like this is what I want.
yeah,
She's looking at me now like I can't believe you're saying that. When we get off the podcast.
yep.
Let
you're,
him
you're
withhold
kicked
that
off.
remote.
Next week, Jay won't show up. It's gonna be me and Kenny. That's it.
What happened to
Well,
your
You'll have a
eye?
black eye. You'll have a black
I
eye.
don't know.
I ran into the doorknob.
no, we're just never gonna hear from Jay again.
I should have never talked about
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
I love her. I swear I love her.
And then then I'll buy all your eBay inventory.
Yeah.
me me and Kenny.
I'm sorry, guys, but she won't let me hang out with you no more.
No, I was thinking, no, we're never even gonna see him again. He's
Wow.
buried in the backyard.
Wow. I don't think she's going to resort to murder.
Ray, you're a bad influence. I can't talk to you no longer.
Yep.
Uh,
Sorry, I gave her an idea, Jay.
I said, she's probably already got that idea now.
Yep.
She listens a lot of Dateline about murdering
Yeah. See,
women,
she's been
murdering.
studying.
She's been studying it.
Yep.
Well, life insurance don't kick in for another 2.5 months, so.
Yeah. So I'm good for doing that. So my hand hurts so bad. I just maybe poison me or something.
Yeah.
Now she really hit me with a chair.
Bitter almond.
Slammed a brick on your hand or something.
Yeah. That's what she was waiting for. Now I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh.
Let me stop it before I get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, let me stop it.
Yeah.
You better stop before
Yeah.
you get
She got in for work. She's just staring at me like,
Yeah.
you're in trouble now, you reseller.
Well, before get you in any more trouble, we'll end it here.
No, it's cool. Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure. For all yous that tuned in and watched all the way to the end, thank you. You are our friends. I do appreciate it. Again, subscribe, leave comments, drop a line. You tell me, was Ray just playing sick or was he really sick?
No.
We all
Is
know
Kenny
you.
is Kenny actually an Avenger or isn't he? Or how much hair do I have under my hat? Leave it down in the comments and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See you.